Here's down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So just play number 3 here. From the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. And he's taken down at the 40. Ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Now it's the former Badger, Dare Ogunbowale. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Winston now. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They go play action here on first down. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
This fielded at the 2. Spinning away. And now running right through it. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Wentz. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Looking to throw. Howard. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go down as a loss of 9 on the first down play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Wentz. Flushed out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it.
think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Play action now. Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he connects with Ertz. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rolling to his left. Deep ball for Jeff. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, 35 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They run it. It's Ogunbowale. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Brings up second and 9.
Everyone got 4.
On second down, it's Jones. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Draw play, Winston to Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protect.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles have taken the lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Winston. He completes it to Evans. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
Call just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at about the 28. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. He's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdowns.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the...
Bring people to life. Make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Ready?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
We got this. Ready? White 25.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. To throw, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Cameron Brate there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Gay is on for the point after. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
First down.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they're going to run the end around with Jackson. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. That's gonna be knocked away and incomplete. Jordan Whitehead there defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Gay knocks this one through. And that will do it for this first half. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This fielded at the 2. A little 360. And nowhere to go. He'll make it back only to the 5-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. It got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Deep ball for and it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Flush to his right. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and goal, Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that gives them a 3-point lead. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Carlton Davis picks it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes... As a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Here's Ogunbowale. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Winston going to get this out to Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It's a big play there for the Eagles. And even 50 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back now in Tampa. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to bury him for a loss of 11. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Levante David. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And fights through one man. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
And bleed the game out that way.
To throw is Wentz. Now he's going to let it go deep back up. He's got a man complete. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Defensively, I know, able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That one. Fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Come to our work. We want it. Come to
They'll run it with Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to second and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun.
And it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball.
They don't want it, boys. They don't want it. They don't want it.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. The Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Eluding the pressure right. And that's complete to Jeffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Sean Bunting. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah,
And look at this. It's a fake. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes just a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Dancing to his left. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that
one. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.